Good evening, everyone. How are you guys doing? Just finalizing to make sure we're live everywhere. How are you guys doing? How did your day go? Hope you had a great day. Hope you had a great day. Okay. Good evening, people. It's that time again where we have a great conversation, and this promises to be great. Before I start, I want to say thank you to everyone that has been part of this journey. Thank you for your support. Thank you for sharing our videos. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for liking. Thank you for being a subscriber. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Back to the business of the day. We are still in the focus series for sure. That series has been mind-boggling, mind-blowing. I can tell you that. The focus series has been revealing. And we've done 7 episodes so far. So today is the 8th episode. And today's topic is so dear to me somehow in many ways than one. The general theme of today is around discipline. Discipline protects the focus that feelings destroys. So that's why it's so dear to me. Discipline protects the focus that feelings destroy. Or in your YouTube title, you see it as "Stop waiting to feel like it." Stop waiting to feel like it. It's more like stop waiting to feel like it before you make a move, right? So that's all today's talk is around. And friends, family, tonight I want to talk to the person that knows what they should be doing. All right, the person who knows what they should be doing, but they still keep waiting to feel like it before they start doing it. I want to talk to the person who has a vision, but who's follow through. It changes with their mood, it changes with their emotions. I want to talk to the person who wants peace, who wants focus, who wants consistency, he wants a better life, but they find themselves at the mercy of how they feel every day. And if they are honest, it has become exhausting. It has become exhausting because some days they feel strong, some other days they feel clear, some other days they feel motivated, they feel ready, they feel all locked in. They feel and see, on those days they believe in themselves, they believe they can do anything. But then another day comes, a day where they feel tired, they feel discouraged, they feel unseen, they feel uninspired, emotionally they are flat, they feel overwhelmed, and suddenly the same goal that felt important yesterday feel heavy today. The same routine feels very difficult today. The same vision feels far away. The same discipline feels easy to postpone. And you see, that's what we want to talk about tonight. That's what we want to dwell on tonight. Because one of the biggest reasons people lose focus, it's not that they do not care. We've already This series I've registered it that people that care, people that have focus, they care. And one of the reasons people lose focus is not because they did not care. It is that they've built too much of their lives on feelings. They've built too much of their life on emotions. Let me say that again. One of the biggest reasons people lose focus is not that they do not care. It is that They've built too much of their lives on feelings. Hey, Figo Q2V, how you doing? Thanks for the silver star you sent. They've they've built too much of their lives on feelings. And feelings are real. Feelings are real, let's be clear. Feelings matter. Feelings are human. Feelings tells you something. Feelings, see, why feelings are real and all that, I don't want to demean it, but feelings are terrible leaders. Feelings are terrible leaders. Feelings are unstable. Feelings change. Emotions change. Feelings react. They can't lead well. All right. Feelings rise and fall with sleep, with conflict, with hormones, with stress, with disappointment, with loneliness, with comparison, with the weather changing. Feelings can change with 100 different things at the same time. So if your focus depends on your feelings, your focus will always be fragile. That is the word for tonight. If your focus depends on your feelings, your focus will always be fragile. Because the life you want is not built only on the days you are inspired. I want you to get that very clearly. The life you want is not built only on the days you are inspired. It is built on the days you are not inspired. It is built on the ordinary days, the tired days, the emotionally dull days, the frustrating days, the days nobody sees you, the days I do not feel like it. That is where that is where great lives are built. Not just in intensity, but in steadiness. And steadiness does not come from feelings. We've said that so much on this channel. Steadiness does not come from feelings, it comes from discipline. Calmness does not come from feelings, it comes from discipline. Discipline is what protects your focus when your emotions are trying to pull you apart. Discipline is what keeps you connected to what matters when your mood changes. Discipline is what keeps your life from being led by every passing weather. This is why tonight's message matters. This is why this talk matters. Because some of you are not lacking desire. No, that's not what you're lacking. You're lacking protection. You have a vision, you have a goal, you have a calling, you have a next level in your heart. But your emotion have been going too much. It has been gaining a lot of control over your movement. And see, I say that with a lot of love because many people have never learned that discipline is not punishment. Discipline is protection. It is the structure that keeps your life from collapsing every time your feeling changes, your mood changes. So if this message has started touching you, if it's finding you somehow, if you know your mood has had too much power over you lately, if you know you keep waiting to feel inspired before doing what you know matters, if you know you're tired of living emotionally flat, all you need is stronger discipline. And let me tell you, friend, you're in the right place. This is the right place. Because tonight it's not about getting cold. This talk is not about getting cold. It's about becoming more stable. It's about becoming more calm. All right? You're in the right place. So I like to start by acknowledging that feelings are real. Okay? Emotions are real. So if you feel tired, it matters. If you feel discouraged, it matters. If you feel hurt, it matters. If you feel unmotivated, it matters. We're not dismissing that. I'm not going to do that. But, but there's a difference. There's a difference between honoring feelings and obeying feelings. Thank you so much, Amashaya. There's a difference between honoring feelings and obeying feelings. Many people do not just feel their emotions. They let their emotions lead. You've heard me say that on this channel so many times. Never let your emotion be on the driving seat. Never let your mood be on the driving seat. Now, every decision depends on whether you feel like it or not. Every commitment depends on whether you feel inspired or not. Every act of discipline depends on whether your mood likes it or not. And because moods changes constantly, your life becomes unstable. One day you're all in, one day, oh Matt, we're getting it done, we're going all the way. And the next day, all that and all that movement, all that being all in disappears. One day you feel very confident. The next day, you question everything. Yourself, you question everything. One day you feel committed. The next day, the same thing feels optional to you. Friend, that's exhausting. It is exhausting. You can't live your life like that. The reason is because now your life is being led by internal weather. And internal weather is always moving, is always fluctuating. That's why you see so many people who live primarily by feeling, they often experience inconsistent focus. Today they are up, tomorrow they're down. Today they are hot, tomorrow they are cold. Inconsistent routines, inconsistent energy, inconsistent identity. Not because they are bad people. We've always said that, not because they are bad people, but because they are being led by something that's too unstable to carry what we call long-term build. They have been led by their moods. They have been led by emotion. Friends, the future you want, it needs stronger leadership than how you happen to feel on a given Monday or given Wednesday or given Friday. That's the truth. Simply because your life will require you to keep going on days when motivation is nowhere in sight. Your life will require you to keep moving on days when you feel flat. And if you have never built discipline, those days they become detours on your path. Those days you can just slide off your path because you're not disciplined, because you've allowed emotion lead. Friends, a feeling-led life or an emotion-led life is a fragile life. It's very fragile. It's unstable. The reason is because feelings and emotions, they fluctuate constantly. You feel high, you sleep, you wake up, you feel low. If your life is based on that, then your life goes this way. You feel motivated after a good conversation, then you feel unmotivated after a hard day. You feel disciplined after watching something inspiring, then you feel weak when stress shows up. You feel focused when life is calm, then you feel scattered when pressure arises. So if your life only works when your emotions lines up perfectly, it will keep breaking. It will keep breaking. That is why some people keep starting strong and they just fade quickly. And you're surprised. Why is it that this person, with all this zest, with all this, with all this intention, why is it that it's no longer showing up? They are excellent at movement when feelings are high. When their feelings are high, they know what to do. But when they have no protection for the issue is that they have no protection for low feeling days. They have no structure, they have no rhythm, they have no standards, they have no anchored commitment. So when the emotional waves drop, everything drops with it. And I want you to hear this clearly, my friend. You do not need to feel powerful every day to live powerfully. No. This is a life-changing truth. You do not need to feel inspired every day to build something meaningful. No. You do not need to feel confident every day to stay consistent. No. You do not need to feel emotionally ready every day to honor what matters. Sometimes maturity is doing what matters before your emotions catch up. Whether you feel like it or not, you keep on going. Sometimes your days will require you to be that person. Your days will require you to say, whether I wake up on the right side of the bed or on the left side of the bed, I'm going to keep on going. That's a life that is not led by feeling. A feeling-led life will say, oh, I woke up on the right side of the bed, Matt. That means I'm not going out today. Your life does not require that, because if your life is like that, your life will become unstable. Because today you're up, tomorrow you're down. Today you're hot, tomorrow you're cold. Your life is based on something that is not stable. Friends, this is what discipline is. This is what discipline is. Discipline is never punishment. And discipline is one of the kindest gifts you can give your future self, because it protects your life from the instability of your temporal moods. Discipline protects you from living this kind of life. Let me introduce you to someone called Mr. James. Okay? Mr. James was a person of a lot of desire. He had a lot of hunger. James had a lot of potential. He had a lot of real vision. And whenever he's motivated, he's unstoppable. He could plan, he could work, he could create, he could reset, he could dream, he could push, he could pray, he could show up with intensity. But his problem was not the days he felt motivated. His problem were the days he did not feel motivated. Because on those days, everything will fall apart. Everything he has built will fall apart. The routines will disappear. The structures disappear. The commitment is gone. The focus is gone. And for a long time, he kept trying to solve this by chasing more motivation. That is why you hear me say most of the time, what you need is not motivation. If you find yourself where every time you feel like, I need extra motivation, I need more motivation, then you need to check it. You need another message. You need to read another book. You need to hear another speech. You need to watch another podcast. You need to watch and you need to join another live session on YouTube. You need another reset. You need another emotional push. See, but eventually, Mr. James realized something painful. Is living like motivation was enough to carry a life. Motivation is never enough to carry a life. It is never enough. Motivation can start things, but discipline is what keeps things alive. Motivation can start a process. Discipline is what keeps the process going. Friends, that is deep. Because some of you You have enough passion to begin. What you have lacked is a system strong enough to carry you when your emotions are low. You have great passions to begin. You have great passion to start, some of you. What you just lack is emotions, is discipline to carry you along when those passions are out. That's what you lack. And until that system exists, until that structure exists, your life keeps depending on rare emotional high. Until that structure is there, your life keeps depending on rare emotional high. You look like someone that is on drugs. And see, that's no way to build something lasting, my friends. That's no way to build something lasting. Discipline is not punishment, it is protection. If you forget everything tonight, don't forget that. Discipline is not punishment, it is protection. I can't say that enough. It protects your focus from distraction. It protects your future from delay. It protects your peace from constant emotional reaction. Discipline protects your goals from the instability of your moods. It protects your identity from the cycle of saying one thing now and doing another. That is what discipline does. Discipline says, my feelings get a voice, but my feeling doesn't get the steering wheel. My feeling doesn't sit on the driver's seat. That is maturity, my friends. That is maturity. It does not mean you ignore yourself. No. It means you lead yourself. And many people need to redefine discipline. They think discipline means harshness, it means pressure, it means rigidity, it means no joy, no softness. No, 1,000 times no. Real discipline is love in structure. It is you caring enough about your future to stop letting temporary emotions keep sabotaging what matters. It is you caring enough about your peace to create rhythms that protect your peace. It is you caring enough about your calling, about your gifts, to keep showing up even when the emotional spotlight is gone. Friends, that's beautiful. That is beautiful because when discipline enters a life, things stop depending on feelings, things stop depending on emotion. Now, your mornings are not decided by whether you like it or whether you feel like it or you don't feel like it. Your growth is not decided only by whether you feel inspired or not. Your peace is not decided only by whether your mood is calm or not. Now, there is structure, and structure protects what matters. Let me pause and ask you something at this point, all right? Where do you feel, or where do your feelings have too much control right now? Where do your feelings have too much control right now over you? Is it in your focus? Is it in your discipline? Is it in your routine? Is it in your peace? Is it in your confidence, your consistency, even your eating, your spending, your work life, your prayer life? Where do your feelings have too much control over you? See, because sometimes what we call inconsistency is really emotional leadership in the wrong place. And once you can name where feelings are overruling wisdom, you can start changing it. Once you can say, you know what, Matt, this is the area I think my feelings are overruling wisdom, then that is the beginning of change. You don't know what to do. There was a woman called Mary. Mary Mary kept waiting to be ready. She kept waiting to be ready to begin, to be ready to commit, to be ready to be confident, to be ready to show up consistently, to be ready to believe in herself even. And because she kept waiting for readiness as a feeling, she stayed delayed. Not because she lacked talent, no. Not because she lacked intelligence, not because she lacked purpose, but because she had unknowingly made readiness emotional. If she felt clear, she will move. If she felt uncertain, she delays. If she felt bold, she will act. If she felt insecure, she would just shrink into her shells. And over time, she began to realize that if she kept waiting to feel ready, she might stay stuck for years. That realization, it changed her completely. Because now she understood something powerful. Readiness is often not a feeling that comes before movement. I want you to hear that very well, friends. Readiness is often not a feeling that comes before movement. It is something that grows through movement. Some of you are waiting to feel disciplined before acting disciplined, waiting to feel strong before acting strong, waiting to feel certain before acting with commitment. But often, those feelings, they arrive through action, not before action. Discipline teaches your emotion where to go, not the other way around. So it's not emotions that teaches discipline where to go. It is discipline that teaches your emotion where to go. As I was looking at this topic, I said, you know what, man, why is it that even as important as discipline is, why is it that some people let feelings lead? Why? Let's be honest. One of the answers that came to my mind is because feelings are immediate, right? Feelings are loud. Feelings, they feel persuasive. Feelings feel personal. Feelings, they offer relief, some kind of relief. And in a culture that says, do what feels right, many people have never learned that what feels right in the moment can destroy what matters most over time. What feels right today can destroy your future. Comfort feels right in the moment. Delay feels right in the moment. Scrolling the internet feels right in the moment. Avoidance feels right in the moment. Quitting feels right in the moment. Indulgence feels right in the moment. What about retaliation? It feels right too in the moment. But not everything that feels right now leads somewhere good later. That is why discipline matters, my friends. Discipline holds a longer view than feelings do. Feelings say, what feels easiest right now? Discipline asks, what will honor the life I'm building on the long run? Feelings say, relieve this moment. Discipline says, what will strengthen me over time? Feelings say, you deserve comfort, man. You deserve comfort. You've done a lot. Discipline says, what do you actually need? See, the difference between both is leadership, self leadership. And if you never build the inner leadership, your life remains at the mercy of the moment. Your life remains at the mercy of emotions, at the mercy of feelings, at the mercy of your mood. If you never build self leadership, When feelings lead, what often follows is regret. Because feelings are built for the moment, feelings are built for the highs. Regret is built from the aftermath of feelings. You eat what feels comforting now. Regret shows up later. You avoid what feels hard now. Regret shows up later. You spend what feels exciting now. Regret shows up later. You say what feels satisfying to you now. Regret shows up later. You skip what matters, what you need to do. You skip what matters because you do not feel like it now. Regret shows up later. And after enough cycles of this, people begin feeling disappointed in themselves. We talk about self-trust a lot on this channel. Your self-trust begins to erode. And it's not because you're one evil person or you're one bad person. I've always said that. It is because you keep handling long-term decisions over to short-term emotions. Decision for the future, you take it and give it to emotions. But that is why discipline is mercy. It interrupts choices that feel good now but cost too much later. Discipline interrupts you from becoming a person who keeps sacrificing the future for the comfort of the moment. Friends, that matters. It matters a lot. Because the life you want is not built by what feels good today. It is built by what stays faithful over time. Let me stop here for a while and say something directly to the person who has been ruled by waves lately. Friend, you're not broken because your feelings have been strong. You are just human. But you do need stronger anchors because humans begins feel we have these deep feelings as humans. We do. The question is not whether you feel. No. The question is whether your life has any structure that is stronger than how you feel and stronger than what you feel. That's the issue. Do you have any structure that is stronger than your feelings? Do you have standards when motivation leaves? Do you have readings when inspiration is gone? Do you have commitment when your emotions are too loud? Do you have guardrails when you're tired, you're triggered, you're lonely, you're discouraged, or you're emotionally flat? If not, life will get fragile. But the good news is this, friends. Those anchors, they can be built. Discipline can be learned. Structures can be built. Standards can be established. Rhythms can be practiced. And that means your future does not have to remain this emotionally unstable. That's what I'm saying. If you have been unstable till now, no problems. That's not the end of the world. Your future does not have to remain that way. You learned it so you can unlearn it and rebuild something new. Let's make this practical a little bit. Like for everyone that knows this channel, we always do something like this. How do you build discipline that protects your focus? Maybe you want to ask me, hey, Matt, thank you. I hear what you're saying. But where do I start from? How do I build discipline that protects my focus? Number one, stop waiting to feel like it. Very important. Stop waiting to feel like it before you make a move. Discipline doesn't work with feelings. Discipline doesn't work with how you feel. It doesn't work with your emotions. Do not hand authority to a feeling that changes every day. Number two, build routines for low feeling days. Not fantasy routines, no, real routines, real ones. What can you still do even when you feel low? What can you still accomplish even when you don't feel like getting up from the bed? Build those routines because you will need them. Number three, lower the drama. Okay, lower the drama. Increase the consistency. You do not need a heroic performance every day. You do not need to be at the top of your game every day. No. What you need is what we call honest repetition. Just keep on doing what you're doing, one at a time, one at a time. Number four, this is very important. Decide in advance. Decide in advance so that now the reason why this is important is that irrespective of how you feel, a decision has been made. Whether you feel tired, whether you feel discouraged, whether you feel unmotivated, pre-decide. Decide in advance. Number five, keep smaller promises. Keep them. Keep them. If you followed this channel for a while, you would have heard me say this so many times. Keep promises that are very small to yourself. As simple as I'll wake up by 10 and go to the gym. If you promise that to yourself, keep it. Keep it. It builds self-trust. It builds momentum. You start respecting yourself. Number six, remove choices where possible. Remove it. Remove options. If every day requires you to redecide everything, emotions will keep interfering. If every day you have to think of everything all over again, emotions will keep interfering. That's why you pre-decide. Number seven, respect the rhythm, not just the result. Like most of the time, you always hear me talk about the gym, right? When you go to the gym the first time, no matter how crazy you are, no matter how intense you are, you might not even see anything happening for like 2 weeks to 3 weeks or even 4 weeks. That's 1 month. You might not see some changes. Just keep on going. Respect the rhythm. The results will follow. It will follow. But that shouldn't be your focus. Just go with the rhythm, go with the flow. The results will come. Number eight, let feelings inform you and not rule you. Ask, what is this feeling saying? Why am I feeling this way? That's okay. But do not automatically obey the feeling and do what they want. Let your feelings inform you. They shouldn't be on your driver's seat. And here is something beautiful, my friends. Here's something beautiful. Discipline does not only create results, discipline creates peace. Because a disciplined life is less chaotic inside. Now, you're not constantly renegotiating everything with yourself. You are not constantly starting from zero. You are not constantly wondering whether today's mood will ruin the whole week. No. There is rhythm already. There is structure. There is leadership. And that leadership quietens the mind. That is why people who build discipline, they often feel lighter, not heavier. They feel calm. The reason is that chaos is exhausting, my friend. Chaos is exhausting. Randomness is exhausting. Constant redeciding is exhausting. Emotion-led inconsistency is exhausting. But structure creates relief. Structure says, this is what we do, this is how we do it. It says, this matters whether I feel like it or not. It says, my future is protected by more than today's mood. And it's more important than that. So no matter how I feel today, that shouldn't decide what I'm going to do. See, and many of you are hungry for exactly that kind of peace. I can say that a lot of you you need that kind of peace in your life. Not peace from doing nothing. No. Peace from being anchored. Peace from peace that comes with calm. A lot of you are hungry for that kind of peace. Let me ask you this question, okay? How many of you know your feeling I've had too much power lately? Hey, thank you so much, great John from Zurich. Thank you. How many of you know your feeling I've had too much power lately? How many of you know you need longer structure? And how many of you know you need stronger structure? How many of you know you need discipline to protect what matters most? I want you to say this to yourself. I refuse to be led by my mood. That does not mean I'll stop feeling. It means I'll stop surrendering leadership to my mood. I will not be led by my mood. I'll be led by what matters. I'll be led by what is truth. I'll be led by what I care about. I'll be led by the life I'm building. I will not be led by my mood. As we look at this, as we try to bring this to an end, let me bring this home. Some of you have spent too long blaming yourself for not always feeling strong. Some of you have spent too long blaming yourself for not always feeling strong. But tonight, I hope you can see that strength is not always a feeling. Sometimes strength is structure. Sometimes strength is rhythm. Sometimes strength is returning. Sometimes strength is keeping a small promise on a low day. Sometimes strength is choosing what matters when your feelings are voting against it. That is real strength, my friends. And that is what will build the life you want. Because your future cannot be protected by inspiration alone. Your future cannot be protected by motivation alone. Your future needs discipline. Discipline to keep you grounded. Discipline to keep you moving. Discipline to keep your focus alive, even when your emotions are all over the place. Discipline to stop every feeling from becoming a new direction. That is what this episode is about. Discipline protects the focus that feelings destroy. So stop waiting to feel perfect, my friend. Stop waiting to be fully ready before you take that step. Stop waiting to feel constantly inspired before you do something good. Build anyway. Start the build. Show up anyway. Keep the promise anyway, whether to yourself or to somebody else. Keep the promise. Because some of the most beautiful parts of your life will be built on the days you almost gave up to your feelings. But don't give up. Here's the challenge for this week. Choose one area of your life where feelings have been leading too much, just one area, and ask yourself these three questions. Number one, what do I know matters here? In this area that these feelings have been running king, what do I know matters? Number two, what do I usually do when I don't feel like it? Number three, what small standard can I keep anyway? Friends, write it down because it matters. And here is the second challenge. I always give two challenges at the end of the day. For the next 7 days, do one important thing each day, whether you feel like it or not. I'm not asking that you do 10 things. I'm not asking that you do 20 things, not 5 things, just one. Because that one act may begin rebuilding your inner leadership. What we're focusing on is self-leadership, self-trust. So let's start with one act. Do one thing that you know, oh, normally I won't do this. Do it. Friends, feelings are real, emotions are real, but they are never meant to carry the full weight of your life. So stop demanding that your emotions be constant before you become committed. Build stronger anchors, build better rhythms, build a life that can survive low feeling days. And remember this: discipline protects the focus that feelings destroy. At this point, this is why I say I love you all. Stay grounded, stay honest, stay steady, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for your time. Do have a great day. Bye for now.